welcome back to Reloading Journey. Today I just want to talk about my #1 recommendation for anyone that's new, especially someone that's new to a progressive press. It's something that's helped me, saved me from making, could be a potentially harmful, bad mistake, a powder checker. And I know there's a lot of people out there that, oh, I check, I look, I double check my load. Great. That's great for you. I just know for me, and I know with this being, when I was hand loading, when I was doing one at a time, yeah, but on this, there's a whole lot going on. This is a whole new ball game. There's 10 stations, 10 different things that are going on. All it takes is one thing to pull your eye. You do something weird. There was times when I'm come down, something didn't feel right, look right. I go back up a little bit. I look. Oh, okay, that's cool. Go back down, come back up. I just double charged. In my head, it took me a while to realize I'm doing 10 different things at one time. My mind was only on that one station. What did that one station do? Oh, okay, I didn't think about what all the other stations did when I pulled it back up and went back down again. That's a double charge. Had it not been for the checker, I wouldn't have thought about it. I'd have set it on, boom. Big boom. But same thing on the other end. There's times when, oh, let me pull that out of there. I'll cycle it up top, pull that case out. Now I really did a lot, because now not only did I not charge a case, I didn't flare a case, I didn't prime a case, I didn't deprime a case. I didn't see the bullet, so if nothing else, just that beep is going to make you go, okay, stop, hold on. What happened? Why did it beep? What all? And from there you can think about each 10 stations instead of just that one station you were worried about at that split second that screwed you up. So I highly recommend it. They're not very expensive, easy to set up. The one I'm using is a Mark 7. I know that Dylan has one, double alpha. I think the Dylan, they were having issues with it because it's so close to the powder checker or the powder powder station. This one works great. So it's just the one I have. I lucked out. It's the first one I bought and it works. So I'm going to go ahead and move the camera. I'm going to kind of show you everything that comes with it, what parts you'll need, or I needed for doing 9mm. My dog's fighting with itself. What I needed to do 9mm, that's what I'm going to be setting it up for. Really, quit it. I'm busy. And just go through everything I need, how I set it up, why I do what I do, and then we'll go to the machine. We'll get it all up and going, and I'll show you how it works. Let's do it. All right, so what you're looking at here is everything we're going to need to put this together. There's just something I wanted to go over real quick before we get it on the machine. A little prep that I recommend doing beforehand, and I'll explain why. First off, I'm just going to go over the plungers, or the dies. In Mark 7's world, this is the small die, medium die, large die, extra large die. For 9mm, it says you need the small die insert. That's this one. So when I told my wife when we were dating I was extra large, in Mark 7's world, I wasn't dying. So anyways, so I'm doing 9mm, so I'm going to keep this one out. That's the one I'm going to need. I'm also going to keep this one out, and I'll show you why, how I'm going to use it in the end. Got a empty brass with a primer in it. Now the tools, I got this nice little set just at AutoZone. It was like 10 bucks. Goes from T6 to T30. But the set screw on this part is T7. And then there's 2 set screws on the back of this, or 2 screws that are T8. And we're going to use those. And then there's a set screw, and that's part of what I want to talk about now, right here. That just takes this small little Allen wrench. I have no idea what size it is, so good luck with that. So let me go ahead and zoom in here, and I'll kind of explain you what I recommend. Now, these 2 set screws here, all they do is pull this, let me get this over here. All they do is close this plastic together. So once you tighten it in and that closes, you're not going to get any tighter. There's no sense in going down. You'll just rip out the plastic. So whenever you put it on, even once you tighten those down, and they'll just go to stop. Makes it easy. You know, you just, boom, stops and stops. It's still loose, which is what you want when you're putting it all on, getting it all screwed down and stuff. Now where you do the fine tune is a set screw. With the set screw, you could keep going on it and you don't even realize that you're tightening. What you can really tell though is if you over tighten it though, is you'll start splitting this plastic apart. And once it's on the machine and you're trying to look, it's hard to see. So what I recommend is just beforehand, just go ahead and make sure these are tight. Put this die in it all the way in, and then go ahead and get this where you want it. Go ahead and run this. Don't let it start pulling that apart, but get it to where nothing moves. Back that off a little bit. Nothing moves. That's good to go. You don't have to mess with that again. And then come back around. Now loosen this one here. It separates that and lets it move freely. Makes it easy to put on and take off. And let you put on the machine, tighten it all down, get it where you want it. And then all you got to do is tighten that one screw and you're done. It'll just save you a lot of headache, a chance of breaking something and stuff later on. It was just a quick little tip I wanted to throw in there. So now we're going to go to the machine and I'll show you how it all goes together. For starters, I recommend if you have your seating die in, go ahead and take it out. It doesn't leave you much room on the side. If you're working your way around setting up your original setup, just do it after the powder checker. But if this is in, go ahead and take it out. This, you have more room to tighten down and stuff after that's in. This one kind of sits back in. It's in a bad spot, so I recommend taking that out. Now you can start with your die, empty, nothing else with it. Run that nut all the way up. Start screwing it in. Go ahead and have an empty case underneath of it. And I'll explain why here in a minute. So go ahead and just screw that on in. All right, once you start getting down, go ahead and take the small die insert. Put it on in there. You see it's going to sit flush. What you're looking for is once that starts hitting the case, it's going to start raising that up. So there, you see it starts raising it. That's what is going to hit that little actuator in there and tell it to yell at you. So now go ahead and take this, set it on, go ahead and keep screwing it down until you hear that tone, then go about another quarter turn more. Now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and pull this back off. I'm going to go ahead and tighten down. Oh shoot, come on. Go ahead and tighten down my locking nut. Before I tighten that, I'm going to double check it. Still good. I need to get a better tool for this, but for now, this is what I have. Whoop. Go ahead and tighten down that nut. Easier said than done sometimes. But anyways, tighten that down. And then you're going to, now at this time, I recommend go ahead and take your brass, make sure you got a primer in it. Go ahead and throw it in, and we're going to go ahead and put a charge on it. And then bring it back around. You'll see it raise it up. All right, here we are looking at it from the other direction. Got it all tight down, locked down. We're going to go ahead and pull this sleeve out of the insert. Now, I've got my plunger all set up. I've got the small end one, the long one with a small end for small pistol. I went ahead and put it all together outside. Went ahead and Loctited this, and then on the other end of this rod, I took the E-clip off, and we'll leave it off, and I'll show you why. So I'm going to go ahead and slide that through here and set that on in. Now, this is sitting on the case. This is sitting on the powder. So, Now go ahead and just cycle your machine up a little bit so you can get past the powder dropper with this and set this on. It's going to get annoying here. So actually I'm going to raise that up, leave it up here so it doesn't yell at us. I'm going to go ahead and, well, it's going to do it anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten this down. Whoop, come on now. Here, I can do that. All right. Now it's in there, it's not moving. Now we're going to take our piece that goes on top of that plunger. All right. Go ahead and put it down over the plunger. And this is easier to do when you're not trying to do it for a camera. And then you just want to get it to where it turns that off. And I'm just kind of guessing because I can't see it. Again, without the camera, it'd be easier. But anyways, so you can see where, let's go ahead and run this up. As the case comes up, well, now this is one of the reasons I use this. I'm going to go ahead and drop it on here. With that added weight, without it, sometimes, you know, if it got a little dirty, powder in there or something, it just wouldn't always go up and down real smooth. With the added weight on there, it just helped it work better. Okay, now, the more time you spend, I just spend a little bit of time getting that red perfectly dead center in there, because it would work intermittently. It would work most of the time, then all of a sudden I'd have one that wasn't. And it's just, if the powder is a little more compacted or just a little, it was just enough to where it would just let it go off a little bit. Take your time, make sure that's perfectly centered, and it'll work every time. And then I'll go ahead and come around, make a double load. See what that looks like. Bring it all around. You'll see it goes above the, boom. Now, something I just learned, again, with this set screw, right now it's still tight enough. My insert was holding up. Whenever I'd pull it up, the tone would stay up, even though I don't have a brass underneath there. It was sticking up. I couldn't figure out, but I went and loosened this a little bit, and it let it drop. It's crazy because I don't know, unless it's setting this off center enough to hold that insert up, because there's no way it's crushing the, any rate, if for some reason it's not letting that, whenever this comes down, the tone stays because that insert is staying up and triggering it, just put your Allen wrench in here and loosen this just slowly. You'll hear it drop, and then just check it. So, just another little lesson. It's still tight enough to where this doesn't move. Word to the wise, remember this pole goes up and down here in the back. Let me zoom this out. You've got this pole, goes up and down. When you've got it up, if you set this, make sure that you don't have this too far that way, and that pole hits it, pushes it off. So we'll go ahead and test this again. Get a load. Come around. Boom, no tone. No tone. Now, let's go ahead and add a second load to it. Boom. It's yelling at me. It's saved me a few times already. Dump that out. Put it back in, case, empty case. Yells at me. All right, there you have it. So again, like I said, that's my number one recommendation. For anybody new to the Progressive, I looked on Midway. That's where I bought this. It was $69.99 now. Bad thing is it's on back order right now. It's out of stock, but they should have them in pretty quick, or you can get them somewhere else, I'm sure. I'll go ahead and put a link to it on Midway. Remember, that's as of the date of this recording. Someone watching this in the future, things may change. So, at any rate, I hope this was helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff, share, and thanks for watching. We'll see you the next time.